Welcome all to the Reception Talk podcast, where we go over the previous events of the latest sessions in the Reception Talk D&D sessions. Uh, I am your host for today, Grayson. I play the character Zatira. I am
Oh,
joined by
Satira!
my co-host James, playing a new character, but we'll get to that in a moment. James, please introduce yourself.
I am James. I am playing a new character, but we will get to that in a moment.
I am also joined by two other player guests, Domino Laverna, played by Matthew,
What's up?
as well as Justin, playing Astrid.
Hello.
Now, this last session wasn't super eventful, especially not for the first half, but still pretty tense in my mind. Lots of questions going back and forth, mainly interrogations and questions for Pearl Everhall, and a recovery period after the big fight at Pearl's Manor.
For sure, the thing
Uh,
that we've been trying to get to for 2 episodes now, uh,
right.
to rescue Pearl, and now we have him in our clutches.
Yep. I would like to start with, and either you can answer this in any order. Uh, your opinions on how exactly you thought the discussion at that table went. Either you're free to start.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Very. It was very. It was very touch and go. It seemed like
Mhm.
one wrong sentence and or word or phrase and
Felt like anything could go wrong.
everything would have just come crashing down with our allies. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Right.
And sometimes the best thing to do is to not say anything and see if it plays itself out.
Mm,
That works. So
yeah. Fear of
yeah,
saying the wrong thing in that moment. Yeah.
it was just pretty nerve wracking, is all.
Yeah. Reasonably so.
Reasonably so. We were surrounded by allies, but allies in quotations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not necessarily friends.
I don't really know how well we all trust each other, even after we've been zone of truth. I still don't know
Yeah,
how well we trust each other because we can tell the
Mm,
truth and still not trust somebody.
yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
sure, for sure. I think we'll all need to have a big old get together
Another.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
figure out each
Yeah,
other because we have been through a lot, but it's only been 3 days, and you guys
Mm,
just met me an hour ago, so
yeah.
that's true. That's true. My
Domino. What
biggest
was? Oh,
concern.
sorry.
Oh,
Continue.
whoops. My
Hey.
biggest concern, trust wise, is definitely Calicath and Zatira.
that's
Yep.
Really?
that's completely
Fair.
fair.
Honestly, fair.
Because I don't know what Calicath's goal is or end game.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
do not believe I was interested and wanted to see what the game plan was. I don't believe that even for a second.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
That's completely fair.
And Zatira, she totally cares. Because I asked her when we were zoned of truth, and I was like, and then she goes, what'd she say? That she doesn't
He
care
said.
anymore and she just wants to figure out what it does? That's bullcrap. She still has a boss.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean her mind can't change later.
That's true. That's true. However,
Right.
there are still snakes in the garden.
Indeed.
Speaking of stakes, Domino, what were
Yeah.
you thinking during the discussion?
Yeah. Your opinion on it.
Like when we're all questioning Pearl.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that whole sequence when everyone was at the table.
Honestly, I feel like Domino had no questions really to ask.
Mhm.
And by the time I thought of something that didn't really relate to Domino, kind of related to me, it was too late. Sometimes I do feel like
Mm.
there's a lot of good stuff happening,
Mhm.
and it's not really I'm like afraid. I'm like what I have to ask. I feel like is not as important, and that might not necessarily be true. I know what Sil said about I'm not sure if he said it on stream, but I think maybe after. But he said with go ahead and interrupt and ask questions and stuff. Um, I didn't feel like there was anything for me to ask. So
Right.
Yeah.
and it's not a bad that's not a bad thing. I'm not dissing or anything. I felt like
Yeah.
people had more relevant things to ask. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that's
don't
just
think
my whole feel of
Astrid.
it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I was just kind of sitting there because I didn't feel like I had any questions either. Because my only question is, where's the hideout? And that got answered at the start of this whole discussion,
Mm.
and then it kind of just came to a stall. I guess
You know what's funny, Astrid?
I didn't really know what else to ask.
Jane.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
So Domino's gonna ask the same thing. I was gonna ask the same thing, and I feel the same way as you about that. That was the only
Yeah.
question I was gonna
Yeah,
ask.
it just
Other
seems that
questions we
like
get to earlier.
Kalikath and Zatira have more internal affairs. Zatira more so because this is this is kind of her city, and
Yeah.
to a lesser extent Kalikath because they were both raised in the same orphanage.
That's why I was saying the other day that I just feel like we should just play more because I feel like a lot of Domino's story is unraveling, but not as fast as many as others.
Right.
Oh yeah,
And
it's a
so
slow
just
burn. That's
less for me.
because we've
Yeah,
done the
I
once
think
a
the
week or
beginning
the
kind of
once
like
every 2 weeks.
yeah,
Yeah,
that and also going to jail early and splitting the party early on kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it that
dragged
yeah,
it out.
that really had a negative impact on me, who was Onyx, and then you
Hmm.
as Domino, because
Yeah.
we had 3 extra episodes to get to know Astrid and Zatira and Kalikath, and there's still unexplained things about them, let
Oh
alone
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
yeah,
A lot of mystery still surrounding Domino's, like Domino and his backstory and his mission and
yeah.
mm,
Lots of
Believe
fun
it or
stuff
not,
to
like
discover.
Domino has the most mysterious air about him out of all of us. Like
yeah.
Astrid's pretty clear cut. Kalikath has essentially laid his cards on the table after that one, priest fight. Wow. And
Hmm.
we can't figure out what Onyx is because he died. Uh,
Oh.
we just met this
Well,
new
Onyx
guy.
is dead.
We we,
Yeah.
we have yet to figure him out, and Zatira's just a thief. Not saying
Mm.
that's a bad thing. That's just always looking for that money.
Hmm.
Again, not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I,
That's just
yeah,
you know.
I think it definitely had something to do with like the party split at the beginning, and then
Yes,
me and
that
Matthew
hurt.
didn't have, or sometimes didn't have a good schedule. Like I was away for a long time,
Right.
doing my own things, and
And
Matthew
then there was
worked
also
alone. So
yeah. And then there was also like character motivation for us all to be in
Hmm.
one group. There was no real reason for Onyx
and
or
Domino,
Domino to follow Astrid
Oh
yeah,
like
yeah,
me or
because Onyx
Calcath.
and Domino had their own thing.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
totally did.
Yeah. So.
So that was another difficulty that kind of led to
Mhm.
myself and Matthew being a
hmm
little bit behind in the party.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
while it might have been a
Yeah.
negative, it might have been a necessary negative. Because it helped and it didn't help. I would say.
Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, if I didn't have my job pulling me in different places, I would have been to every situation, every
Oh
episode,
yeah.
and I'm sure we could have shoehorned us in sooner. But like
Oh
you
oh
said,
definitely.
that might not have been a good thing, and the story might have been hurt by it.
Yeah. Come out completely different for sure.
Yeah,
Oh totally.
so just things to think about for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. Although I did really want to know what's Onyx's deal.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to find out through Domino. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Domino and Pearl and his sister.
Who was
I'm
still
pretty sure she doesn't
who's-
want to talk to us.
Yeah, we left on a sour note.
Well, you guys are
Uh,
helping her brother and her other brother, so
Her other brother is
I mean,
dying.
we saw how that went out, helping her other brother.
Yeah. I feel like helping the Everhalls isn't really the best thing for us.
well,
Yeah,
He-
by the way, we still don't know where exactly she is.
Oh,
it's
in a safe house.
Well, yeah,
somewhere.
safe
I
house.
know, but we don't know where exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
probably for the
not.
best.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably. It's not
Never
exactly.
Everhalls. More like always fall. Huh.
Dang.
Oh,
Anyways,
yeah. Although
sorry.
Although Pearl did say that he had a way out of the city for you guys if y'all helped him on his quest. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and considering
A
how
way out, and that was connected to the Lord Kohi.
And speaking of his quest, if that gets accomplished in the way that we think it is, and we get our
Hopefully.
hands on the SilverVine, what's going to happen? What's everybody going to do?
I
So,
yeah, you continue, Domino.
yes, you continue.
Then I'll ask a question.
all right. The one thing I noticed is that there's 3 options with that as well, right? Once we get the Silvervine, there's giving it to Y.
Yeah,
There's
let's just mark
giving it
that off
to
right now.
Yeah,
Which is
that's,
the
Santiago.
absolute,
that
which
sounds
is a bad
bad.
ending.
Not gonna
Let's
lie.
just mark
Yeah.
that off right now.
Yeah, so there's 3 options that we could go, right? Or
Yeah.
like we roll a 1 on smart decisions and give it to Y.
Right.
We decide to give it to the Santiagos instead, and who knows what happens to that.
There's a
Or we give it to Pearl, and he gives it to LV, and then we get out the city, and then what? You know, like, is there going to be a war in the background? Who knows? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
we forget who has the possession of the Silvervine,
Mr.
and I feel like
Canton
that's going to
Pren.
be a
Yeah.
task in it of itself. And with this
Yeah,
new
the
ally
person
that
that
he
one shot
has,
me at the beginning of the
yeah, his little buddy,
Yeah.
yeah,
This
magic
isn't
missile
this isn't gonna
instantly
be
down.
easy. There's
Also,
yeah.
that's
It's like
there's
we're
definitely
gonna definitely have to bring our negotiation skills. Like we have to roll well over 15s the entire time.
Yeah, everything we've been practicing on in the manor and then at the table, we're gonna have to take all that and go against
And
your master.
insight.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I have that wrote
if it
down on a
stays
piece
that
of
way.
paper beside me. Insight.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Astrid's interaction with Canton Prin
It's gonna
after
be
all of
different.
this. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
kind
gonna
of want to
be.
know Domino's interaction, seeing the person that kind of just like knocked him out to oblivion.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna
Will there be
be.
fear? I don't know.
Oh, there's gonna be some fear.
There's gonna be some fear. All right.
Hmm.
There's gonna be some fear.
From 2 characters ago, I know what Canton Pren's up to. Not up to, but can do. And oh boy,
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
that's gonna be fun. But
Yeah.
with what Matthew said about the 3 options, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad that can happen from.
I think there's just 2 really bad, right?
There's one really bad. There's a kind of a neutral one where we get some benefit, and then there's a really good one in my head.
As far
Right.
as we know.
I mean,
Yeah.
to me, you
Well,
guys say
what do you-
giving it
what
to
do you think
Y is
they
a
are?
horrible idea, and I
Oh
think we
yeah,
should
it
deep
totally
dive
is.
into that.
Okay.
Why is it a bad idea? We see that Y is the god of, well, self-proclaimed, I don't know, of man and also the
Also the
bugbears, right?
bugbears.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, this has been around for a long time. It's been around past, before Calicath, right? With the lady, and apparently there's some stuff going on in that backstory. Um, so the Y has been around. He's been around, and he's been spreading. Giving some, like, I feel like he has his best interest for his people if he's their god, right?
I disagree. I disagree because it's a situation where, like, the bugbears used to worship Baphomet, right? The demon lord of beasts and the wild. Right. And then they say, and then Y's like, oh, hey, I'm going to give you more power than him. Deal. Like, they. I was telling Grayson about this, but you don't go from worshipping Baphomet to worshipping, like, Bahamut or, like, any good aligned god. You don't make that jump, right? So
Yeah.
in my head, Y is on the same par as Baphomet, and also considering that he lied to us about being the god of humanity while also giving the bugbears demonic powers, seems like a. I don't know. This is something we can explore, of course. It seems pretty cut and dry to me that this isn't a good entity. This
Not to be trusted.
not to be trusted. His first interaction with us was lying. He stole a cult that used to worship Baphomet, and also he accepts sacrifices um, down the little bugbear chute. So I don't know. What do you have to say about that, Matthew? Not to.
I have to say, all right, if we're all on a consensus that this is a bad character, what gives our characters the impression that this is someone to fuck around with, to someone to defy? I know we're the heroes of the story, right? But realistically, are we biting more than we can chew? I mean, we kind of already are with everything that we're in right now, so I guess it doesn't matter. We're already down the chute,
Yeah.
um, already down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, my
But
answer would be. Oh, sorry. You can
no,
continue.
you can answer. I was done. I was done.
Yeah, my answer would be is like they're still like adamantly trying to pursue the SilverVine even when they thought they lost it the first time. And my worry is whoever we hand it off to, definitely not Y, after we do acquire it, assuming we do acquire it,
Uh-huh.
I highly doubt they're just gonna give up after we give it to one of those two.
Yeah, there could definitely be like a big territory dispute, you know.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I highly doubt that we give it to Lord Kohi and then the manner where we encountered gold mask puppets right underneath in his dungeons
yeah,
before. Like, I don't think it's gonna stay there very secure. Same with the Santiago family.
yeah. That
Let's
that's
revisit that gold mask. Why did they come in and allow you guys to have that distraction to escape? What were their main reason?
I
Like,
don't.
I assume it had to be to try to steal the silver vine, right?
Hmm.
I think
Yeah,
they thought
they're
that we had the three of them had the SilverVine. Astra,
yeah,
So
Zatira, and Calicath.
obviously,
yeah,
I
they didn't know.
think I think Lord Vishon, I think his name, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Vishan
With
Kovi.
John Cohee.
Obviously, he knows what the power behind the Silvervine is. It seems
Yep.
like Y has to know, but does
Actually, he doesn't.
Yeah, I
He
don't
got it
think he
confused with
does.
your domino, dude. He just thinks it's a
Yeah,
weapon.
he called it a weapon when we.
He
Yeah,
does not know what this thing can do.
he
but it
doesn't
was
even know
something that
it's a
was
silver.
meant to
Yeah.
deliver to him, so he knows
Yeah, yeah.
it's
He knows it's
powerful.
powerful and important for sure.
He does know it's powerful. I don't know if he knows what it is exactly, because in their interaction they could have been like, "Hey, have you seen like Lord Vishan Kohi could have been like, "Hey, have you seen like this blue, white, silvery vine?"
Yeah. Tell the guy that was with the
But
party carrying it, hey, do
from
you
from
have
my
the
from
silver
my
vine?
impression,
Mhm.
uh, it was supposed to be delivered to him anyway, right? That was your
Yeah,
mission,
yeah, it was
Astrid,
supposed to be. He was the intended like delivery target.
intended
Yeah,
recipient, right?
Excuse me.
yeah, he
I
was
hope that
the
doesn't come in.
goal for and
Mhm.
yeah, then they just left. I don't know why they just left. That's what's plaguing my mind. What was
So
their reason?
my theory on that is that um they your master, right? He probably knows the truth behind the SilverVine. Maybe it is a great weapon, maybe it's not. But if it is, and he knows what Lord
Vishan Kohi.
what yeah him if he knows what he's intending to do with that, either maybe your master saw that this is a really bad idea, can start a war, destroy multiple cities. Maybe he's saving somebody, or maybe he's um, preventing it to be used. Because like once they let's say that it is a weapon and it can take out Thorn, who's next, right?
I, I
Why stop Thorn?
I think there's a lot of reasons to stop Torn. Um, if we do follow the line of thought where, like, we give it to Lord Vishan Kohi, the Silvervine, he all of a sudden kills Torn, and in the last episode, we heard that the whole reason that the Red are even in the city is to protect them from Torn. So they kill Torn, and then all of a sudden the expansionist Red don't have a reason to be in the city anymore, and that pushes the Red out. And as we've seen, the Red are a hyper evil religious group. I think any opportunity to trickle down, mess them up, would be a good thing, right?
Yeah,
All right.
I agree with
So
you on that. It's just
No, but
it's
I
just
mean,
we can only theorize and look so far into the future that we don't know what the outcome would be,
I see
which
what
is
you're
the point of a
saying.
theory. But like, it's
It
still
I
nerve
think
wracking
it would lead
as to what could
to
happen.
it would lead to some power type vacuum, right? Thorn's not an issue anymore now. We don't need you guys, so get the fuck out, right? And
Yeah,
but
yeah,
what I
that's
really meant was I was like after they take down Thorn, right? Thorn's gone. It's not a problem anymore.
that's Torn, by the way.
Do they Torn? Torn.
Yes,
Sorry,
it's all good.
man, I can't get these names.
It's all good.
This is why I write in my notes. All right,
right.
but Torn's gone. Who's next? That's what I meant. Like, are will they start expanding because there's no threat to them anymore? Will they go after the Goliaths? Right?
I don't think
Maybe.
I don't think they could go after the Goliaths because the Goliaths are
Now,
the ones
I
that
will
gave them
say,
the silver vine. You know, the Goliaths are the
yeah,
ones
why would they
with a garden of this weapon.
go?
You know,
Oh yeah, yeah. Why
Well,
not just
yeah.
raise an army of unstoppable Goliaths? Because I'll tell you a little bit of lore, Matthew. In this
Oh.
world, the Goliaths are the military strategists. Like they are top of the line, undefeated. The Goliaths.
tacticians
I
and
mean,
strategists. Yeah.
yeah, they're insane. They literally destroyed an entire race because they tried to steal the Silvervine by force.
hmm
And another thing I have to question is like, are they paying the red just like they're paying Torn with their tithing and taxes and stuff?
I mean, didn't they
And
say?
if
Did,
there's no more red to pay and no more dragon to pay, they can start expanding and get stronger and then get a little bit too big for their britches. And now they have this unstoppable dragon slayer. It's just something to think about.
it is absolutely something to think about, but considering that Crossroads isn't as oppressive as the red,
Lucrative.
uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
even if they do expand, they're not going to be an issue for the South, which is covered in the red. They're not going to be an issue for the North because the North is the ones who gave them the dragon slaying weapon, the Silver Vine, right?
Yeah, and it also has godly monks
Yeah, there's a lot of
and the
reasons not to
mountains,
worry about the
which is
North,
hard to invade anyways, I assume.
right?
Like
So,
it's cold and it's high and the air is very thin and hard to breathe.
yeah.
Anyways,
And so, even if they do expand, who's that going to harm? That's going to harm the red, who we hate, by the way, and that's going to benefit everyone else for killing the giant dragon. And the thing about dragons in D&D is they only get stronger with age. Eventually that dragon Torn is going to be an issue for everybody when he gets older. So
Speaking about Thorn,
Torn.
Thorn hasn't Torn. Sorry.
Mhm.
Speaking about Torn, hasn't he not been seen for a while? Like he's missing.
I think that's what they said in the
Yeah,
last session.
yeah. They lowered their the amount that they pay in the tithe, but they also have the red as part of their defense.
Yeah,
So
they haven't.
it's
He
less.
hasn't physically shown up
Mm,
in like 2 years.
yeah, yeah.
So there is that to think about for sure.
Doesn't mean he won't.
Yeah, I just think that giving it to Crossroads is optimal. I will say there are people in the party who would much rather have something else happen. Grayson, let's talk about Satira for a second.
Yep.
Zatira might have a vested interest in giving the SilverVine to her former boss and
Yep.
kind of getting some redemption for, her
Mm,
seemed failures and maybe even
yeah.
being able to get her brother out of his indentured servitude.
Yep.
There are
But
benefits to giving it to the Santiagos, but it
yep.
it benefits Satira and it'll give benefits to the party, but
Mm,
how much will it help and how much do
effect
we
in the long term, right?
and how much do we
Yeah,
care?
how much gold is it worth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can either save
Yeah.
a city and
Mm,
not have the power and also have to leave the city for a while because it'll become chaotic,
yeah.
but
Probably.
do the good thing, or we give it to the mob boss, get money,
Very much an
get
unknown.
get power,
Mm,
and be cool, but ultimately short term good, long term probably bad to give a dragon killing thing to a
Yeah,
mob boss.
Yeah.
and they're mobsters. They're mobsters. They might also just be lying about the gold. They could be like, "Hey, man,
Yeah,
thanks for the vine,"
Mm,
and then they just like aim a bunch of crossbows at us.
that's absolutely possible.
maybe
In
portrayal.
in Zatira's prequel, like Zatira and me and Justin and
Mm.
Redacted had done a service for the mob boss. We had messed up, and he sicked shadow fiends
That
after
was
us
also after his son Sebastian
had lied.
had lied and said, "Oh, we're spies for Kohi."
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
There was a lot there, but the guy who we're
But yeah,
potentially
still
giving the
try
vine
it.
to literally has shadow fiends,
Has hellhounds
has hellhounds
ready to sick him.
on his back pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
This isn't a good
He's not a
guy.
man, but he's
So
also
yeah,
not a man to wrong, not a man to trifle with,
That's true. If he finds out that you Zatira had the Silvervine and gave it to
and give it to
Lord
someone else.
Vashon
Yep.
Kohi, that might be
Yeah,
an
and the
issue.
party, yeah, the rest of the party would also very much be a target.
Yeah. So there are a lot of intricacies at play, and do
Mm,
we want to do the long term good thing for short term not a lot of
short term,
reward, or do we
yeah.
do the short term good thing
Mm,
for us,
with
but
possible betrayal.
with possible betrayal, and then long term, oh, we gave a nuke to a mob boss. Like,
mm,
there's some issues with that. And then the worst option, in my opinion, we give it to Y, who is
yeah,
an unknown chaos god potentially.
yeah.
If
Who says he'll destroy it, but whether or not that's actually true.
Yeah, I mean, one of
Yeah,
our first
and
interactions with him in the campaign
Mhm.
is he sent killers after you guys in prison. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
and is the god
and
of the
and what
evil
if his
bugbears.
range is limited?
yeah,
He
yeah,
might not even be a god.
Yeah,
He might just
he's
be a
clearly
super
not.
mastermind orchestrating everything
Yeah,
with superior magical abilities.
he's clearly
yeah.
Because
not
if he was a
omnipotent.
god, then gods have a lot of power in D&D. So why couldn't he
Mm,
just manipulate somebody in the Frost Bolsideer and burn down the the
The Silvervine
the
just
Silvervine
felt
Silvervine,
crop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Also,
rewatching most of our episodes, I think Onyx was onto something, especially with figuring out that it's a scrying mask.
yeah. Like,
So
why does a god need a scrying mask if he's a god?
yeah,
And
Yeah.
why?
When he's a god and can just channel through people.
Yeah. And our first interaction with them in the prequel was like he sent a group of gold masked assassins to look for the vine. If he was a god, he would have just gone straight to the vine instead of to your room, which they thought had the vine, you know?
also,
Yeah, I just had my money and my art supplies.
Hmm. Shout out. Rest in
why
peace.
wants to
Shout out.
destroy? He wants to destroy the mat, like the SilverVine, not the mask. He wants to destroy the SilverVine,
He
or so he says.
So it
made the
says.
claim that the Silvervine being there is affecting the sea, affecting the sky,
Yeah.
which we are seeing.
The
We're
ocean
seeing
kind
the
of
ocean,
rising and being more chaotic. And they,
and then
in the last episode, Pearl talked
hmm,
about these whirlpools, but then he said, that's just what we're calling them. We actually don't know what's going on.
yeah,
Like, the ocean's messed up,
Yeah.
and then
and
something about the sky is also messed up.
yeah, we
Yeah, and
saw a
those three
fucking sea
beams of light
monster.
that I saw.
Those were
Yeah,
beams of
yeah.
light. Those, or unless we're talking about two different things, which we might be.
The
Yeah,
beams of light
I
in the
think we
ocean?
are. The beams of light in the ocean. We were headed to the scrying tower that I saw.
they were
Oh, yeah,
not beams
those
of light;
weren't
they were
beams of light.
cylinders.
Those
Yeah,
were
What
yes.
were they?
tentacles, is what we think.
Or a giant sea fucking serpent.
Yeah,
No, well, there's also that
Maybe.
monster you guys ran into in the sewer
in the
that
sewer.
nobody ever thought of. Yeah, that nobody thought of going back and exploring what that is
Yeah,
about
yeah,
because obvious
Which we're
reasons.
yeah.
not.
I mean, like that thing. One is
Yeah, that
chilling.
thing,
Obvious reasons.
that
One's
thing's not
chilling at the bottom of
natural,
the sewer.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
One thing is chilling at the bottom of the sewer. Another thing is affecting the fucking ocean, making people to the point where it's making people think there are whirlpools just forming. And
yeah,
then in this episode, the moment like when we were encountering your new character, James, we'll get to that too. The crazy amount of rain.
yeah. The distant
Yeah.
Galahad was literally
Crazy flash
flooding.
flooding.
Yeah, crazy flood. Which I tried to do a history check to see if we normally get that amount of rain, but I didn't get high enough. But it still seemed like this is
This is an
this is
uncommon
odd.
amount of rain.
This yeah, enough to like flood that huge sewer gator out and onto the streets.
Mhm, mhm. Do you know what I think? The
Well, not a gator.
what's up?
That thing was massive, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
huge.
It was the size of
Oh, it was huge.
laying down. It was the size of a floor, like 8 feet
Of a
up.
building. Yeah,
Yeah, like a single floor
like
building.
a one-story house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gigantic, dude.
So,
Massive.
so there's a lot going on. If I had a guess,
Now, is that normal or is that just some
yeah,
I don't think
mutant
it's
creature?
normal.
I don't know if it's normal either. Like that might be another influence of what Y was saying about the Silvervine causing these anomalies to happen. Whether that's
All
real or
right.
not is another thing.
You gotta think about it though. That's easy to be fooled because it does come from a place where there are just giant blue people. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
does it cause gigantism? I don't think so. I think
I don't think maybe like terraforming in like a crazy sense.
I'm not. I'm. That's something to look into for sure.
Yeah, the tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah.
if it was terraforming,
Yep, definitely.
I think it'd be a little bit more obvious and
It's
it'd be
pretty
easier to
obvious.
find where the silver vine's at. No, I'm just saying, like I think there's something else at play here,
Oh yeah. There's
than
probably an
just the
extra
vine.
layer we're not seeing right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think, right, and this is my tinfoil hat theory, right? I think Y is underground somewhere, and is either like a spread of worms or like a beholder creature, something underground that is somehow psychic, somehow like connecting people's minds. I don't know how, but that's my crackpot
Yeah,
theory.
I got a question
because it's
because I
weird that
don't
his influence
remember.
is just a city.
Did we ever figure out the
And
color
even
of the eyes of the
so,
monster underwater?
I don't think we saw much
I
other
don't
than
think it had
tentacles.
eyes.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Was there no glowing under the water? I know the water was murky and probably couldn't see a thing.
I think the only thing
Yeah,
glowing was
like
the light sources that were put on like Calicath,
Yeah,
and
Okay.
that was so he could
and my
see the
arms.
and
tentacles.
your
Yeah,
arms.
that
Yeah,
too.
I don't know if that. I
'Cause
don't think that was why.
I was asking because I was trying to see if there was any like correlation between
Yeah, there might
the
there might be. Um,
was this something risen from the dead, something created? I don't think so. We were we weren't able to investigate the body of the monster either, which I hope is not gone by the next day.
oh,
Just
The
magically
body of
the
disappeared.
the crocodile.
crocodile.
Yeah, like that
Oh
something
yeah.
that huge gone the next day. There's some fishy shit.
That
Wait a
might
minute.
Oh
might get
yeah.
washed
That.
away, or it might get cleaned up by the guard or something.
Yeah, someone
Yeah, but
prestidigitations and gets rid
you'd
of all the
probably see
filth.
some
You
mopping
know.
or either mopping or some sort of excavation. Like you see some people working on it, right?
Right. Right.
Even if it stopped raining at all, right?
Right.
For
Yeah.
all we know, we're forever in darkness. Didn't seem like it was letting up anytime soon.
Yeah, for sure. This might be like a culmination of things. Like this is the culmination of the end of whatever's happening, and the SilverVine needs to be used or taken or
Or this
something.
does not belong in that environment at all.
Another
Yeah.
another thing I wanted to like discuss. I don't know. I wanted to. I forgot to do it this episode, but I wanted Domino to kind of do a history check to see if he knows anything about the Red God, because as we saw, the Red was doing necrotic damage,
Yeah.
necrotic spells.
Like summoning
Thi-
ghouls and the little saw daddy thing.
Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah, the
their
spooky.
God is definitely
Yeah,
not holy. You know what I'm saying? Like
that
Right, right.
It's definitely
little
for all we know, there's some necromancer shizzle going up in there. I don't know, man.
for sure. Justin, I think you're cutting out a little bit.
And more than a little bit.
Well, more than a little bit, but yeah. All right.
Anyway, well,
And
I guess we'll continue on.
and that at that moment we encounter the giant crocodile, the crazy amount of rain. We encounter James's new character.
Yo, my new
Ooh.
character.
I don't think
who
we.
hails from heaven.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the most that we know about you, and I don't remember if you even told us your name.
Oh, I said my name.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I said, I am Arya Sophia,
Right, right.
Heaven's Pride.
Yeah, yeah.
James.
He claims he came from the heavens or Heaven's Gate or something that sounded
Oh,
like
it sounds like heaven to me.
it sounds some nonsense to Satira.
That's
Like,
fair.
yeah, that
yeah,
crocodile really
yeah.
crashed your tail over your head really hard, didn't he?
Oh,
Yeah,
for
you know
sure.
what? You're gonna put a bandage over your head and then sleep it off, and then I'll ask you.
I don't know, man. Domino's all for it. He's having a blast having someone who can match his style,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, very
announcing their
smart.
presence constantly.
yeah, yeah. I'd love to see the interaction between Calicath and Arya because, like, Arya, from what you guys have heard, claims he's from heaven, and Calicath is a celestial being, and so how does that interact? How is there
Is
going to be
Arya
some?
an angel?
Is
We
there?
didn't exactly look too hard to see if there were like similarities between the two either.
Yeah, we both have like pale hair,
Nah,
and
too exhausted, man.
yeah, no, that's fair. Also, we were kind of being pushed at the end to wrap
A
it up,
bit, yeah.
but yeah, there might be some
Did we?
similarities. I don't know. Who can say?
Yeah, yeah. What would what was the main inspirations for creating and designing this character?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Onyx died,
Oh,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
that was
good inspiration.
the first thing that happened. I wanted to switch from a spellcaster, which I love spellcasters, right, to something else. At first, I wanted to be a barbarian because that's what I was originally going to choose for this campaign. That was Marco. Marco died in a prequel, so I couldn't bring him over. And so my first idea was a barbarian. And I love when a class isn't a stereotype of its own class. Like, I like when my wizards aren't wise, old, better than you wizards. You know, Onyx was a empathetic and kind person at the end of the day. I don't like my monks, or I don't like my monk characters being, serene and calm. Marco was a piece of shit. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wasn't he though?
Justin, you can
Dude,
attest to
I
that.
wanted to know, Mark. Like there was some beef at the beginning between Astrid.
It-
Like
it's
I want to know.
it's mostly joking, but he would have been a funny character. And this is no different.
uh,
I had an idea for like a paladin who isn't a lawful good and just wears white and gold and you know um, you can't
Still glorious.
yeah, it's still glorious. You can't bust down, you can't lockpick because lockpicking is inherently a bad thing, even though this is a holy quest and anything should go. um, and I had an idea for like a clown paladin, like a jester type paladin, and that sort of evolved into this. And we'll have to see about the rest of the stuff that happens.
Do you
Original
want to know Domino's main inspiration?
is it Puss in Boots?
Character creation.
No, actually, it was
Hmm?
Card Shark.
Card Shark?
Card Shark.
What's that?
Yeah, go ahead and look it up.
Oh,
It's a
fine.
it's a game on Steam, where you play as this orphan who everyone presumes to be the son of the king, and you help this con artist cheat people for their money, and
Oh,
which they
yeah, I see.
use to fund political revolution and eventually overthrow the king.
Ooh,
Mm.
that's
Um,
pretty
and
cool.
s- and so that's kind of where I started with Domino, and I wanted a carnival background and
Mm.
Hmm.
kind of uh, some political stuff with Domino, which was pretty cool.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that a lot.
And then
Uh,
I wanted him to be funny as well. So I first it was Pharaoh, and this Puss in Boots cash lines, which I kind of liked.
yeah, I I think Domino's brought a lot of levity, uh, in a kind of dark fantasy setting.
Indeed.
Like when all of us were entering the doppelganger and I was playing Zatira, I was like, "All right, everyone, be on your best behavior." And Asher was like, "Hey, I'm gonna forget your name. Where's the drink?" And then Calikath was like, I just ate someone." And then Domino was like, "I am Domino Laverna." Like that's really funny to me.
Very
It
much.
just pops around the corner. Hi, I'm here.
"Hi, I'm Domino Laverna." Like he has to say it. He's compelled. That's a part of his pact or
It's a
something.
running gag now.
Uh-huh.
Hey, he's just proud. He's proud of it.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
I mean, he's already wanted. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
Two
It's like a
renowned
tick.
criminals in this party.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
tick. Two, I mean, Satya, I wouldn't say you're renowned
Well,
because
yeah,
you're a
that's
good
true.
criminal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
No offense,
what I
Domino.
got from Zatira was just like henchmen that kind of
Yeah,
I'm a very
got
good henchman.
she was
You
a
got it,
very
no,
good
no,
boss.
henchman.
just just a henchman that went down the wrong path and now owes the mob boss everything.
Maybe,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
perhaps there's ties here.
I don't know the backstory.
All I know is I feel like this part of the story in Crossroads is about to come to its true climax.
I have to agree. Um,
Yep.
Oh
we,
yeah.
we saved Pearl. He knows where the SilverVine is, the thing that Satira and Astrid have wanted from the beginning, and that Onyx kind of died for, and we're going to have it. Maybe, hopefully, probably, right?
Another
We're probably
thing
gonna have to fight Kent and Prin.
Do you think we can fight
which
Cam Pren and Smoking Joe?
No,
there was a couple times
I said
where
maybe.
you'd have people following your group, Zatir, Astrid, and Kalikath. Just there was that one time there was someone uh kind of lurking behind you guys, following, tagging you,
Yeah,
and then there's that Zatir double, which kind of
Yeah.
disappeared for a bit.
yeah.
Yeah. That
They're
doppelganger needs to be
dealt with.
addressed
Yeah,
and dealt with. Yeah.
dude. It would be bad. And this is another. Let me put on my tinfoil hat thing. What if
Uh huh.
what if we give collect the Silvervine, and then Pearl's like, oh cool, let me give it to the king, and then we're like, okay, here you go, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
Pearl
No.
leaves, and then the next second Pearl comes in and is like, hey, did you get it? Who do we give it to? you know,
Yeah. That's
God,
Oh
for that to be
God,
like,
I
no!
hate that.
if we do.
I just invoked rage
Insight,
within me,
rolling
James.
insight.
Yeah.
it'd be really funny though.
We should keep him in our sights at all times, anyways.
Yeah, just so he doesn't
Because
die or
or get cold feet and try to bolt because now he's in the sights of a mob boss.
that's true. Also, Grayson, take control. I have to take a phone call. I know it's very unprofessional, but this could
Mm-hmm.
be
Yeah.
important.
I feel like he was always in the sight of a mob
Wow.
boss, though. Because
Wow.
think about it, he
He
was
was already,
ev-
yeah, but he's not gonna. He never earned the direct ire of like he knows where this primary asset is, and then runs away with that information. Yeah, no, that's he's actually gonna hunt that man down now.
right.
Yeah, man, I'm both terrified and excited for the interaction with between the group and Canton Prin and potentially Spoken Joe and whoever the heck that third guy they had
Yeah,
with
the
them when
third
we
person is
yeah
man. I
after
can't imagine for the life of me who that could be.
yeah like I guess we'll have to find out like from them
I
or
guess
find out later
so.
when we get there because there was one guy
Yeah.
that got mentioned by the Bugbear who was like a third person traveling with them while we were looking for them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do any of
missing
you
an
I had the
eye, missing an
description
arm, and
wrote
missing a
down. Let me
leg.
find that real quick.
do any of you
Yeah,
remember
that's
what
it.
the clone of Zatira said to me and Pearl? Not me and Pearl. Me and Onyx.
She introduced herself as Sophia to you, and she just asked you where the Iron Tanker Tavern was, I think. And then there was another point where she, I think before she interacted with you and Onyx, she spoke with Naomi and asked where Astrid was. But I don't think he gave the doppelganger a proper answer.
She also wanted like a tour, right? Wanted to show her
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
I threw
wanted
that. I
you.
shut that down fast.
Yeah, I wanted both of you to show her directly around the place.
Which I'm also not sure. Should I have gone with that?
I think you made the wise decision of trying to avoid that. Who knows where she would have been trying to lead you.
um. Also, like, how did they know
Yeah,
it
how did
was
they? Yeah,
us?
how did they find out about you? I can guess.
I
I
think
have an
they
idea
must have
how.
known Onyx.
Yeah, probably
I
since he
I
was at
doubt they
the
knew Domino.
yeah since he was like at the scene. And since I imagine they're the same doppelganger that replaced tank during my prequel.
Oh.
Like a character that was part of my original heist party when we were originally trying to steal the SilverVine
Oh
from Astrid.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
yeah.
Yeah, I know
yeah,
nothing
I
about
remember
this,
that
but
now.
yeah, oh yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't, no clue, but
So they probably got some of that information from that scenario, and then they
but
were still there. They were
why would
still there when the
they?
fight broke out.
I wonder why would they ask where the Iron Ticket Tavern is?
Hey, I'm
Yeah,
back.
this is a strange question.
What happened?
Yeah, we were talking about what doppelganger me asked Onyx and Domino, and like she wanted to have a tour of the town because she claimed to be new, introduced herself as Sophia, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
And then didn't she ask like where the Iron Taker Tavern was, or she asked like a familiar location
I
and like where
actually
that was?
was not there for that episode, so my recollection is
Yeah, yeah, it
shaky at
was.
Ah,
best.
yes,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. It was just
Phil
me.
was piloting Onyx.
Yeah, and in fact, I think Onyx got charmed during that session.
Right.
Oh,
Because
Yeah, that's true. I think.
his face went like pale and his eyes sort of got sunken in, and then Domino was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And then him piloting Onyx was like, "Uh, yeah, I'm okay." And then he was like, "Cool." And then nothing, nothing happened from that.
Yeah, like she tried to charm person you and then it failed, or
Maybe
she tried to
it's
charm person you and then like get some answers out of you or something.
yeah, maybe it succeeded. Maybe some rule
no,
was
but
put
like
in.
I thought magic in this world was obvious when it's done.
If
I
we
don't know when.
did sometimes.
Because remember how I started the whole fight with the bugbear? I tried to
Yeah.
charm him, and everyone's like, "Hey, what the
Right.
fuck? He's doing magic! He's doing
Yeah.
magic!" And it failed.
Well,
Mm,
there are certain classes that you don't have to weave hand signs together to make the magic happen.
could be far more subtle. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are options for that, and I feel like I don't know if your homeboy is next to you and he's got he talked to someone and now he's got sunken in eyes and is pale and is like keeled over for a second and then he's like, "Oh, I'm fine." Then he's not fine.
Yeah, pretty obvious. Like something happened right there. Yeah.
Then again, I didn't know about that until like a few episodes later when I
Um,
rewatched that. And I'm like, oh, huh, that's weird.
well, were they just talking on their own?
I don't.
Because I forget.
Yeah, I also forgot.
They were asking
So
you guys a lot of questions,
Because I
and
thought
they
we were
really
together the
wanted
whole
you.
time, and I kind of like diffused and like, "Hey, let's get going."
I think so. We'll have to rewatch that. We'll put a pin
Hey,
in
now
that.
I'm interested. Now I want to know.
Yeah, yeah. You remember it was episode 5, right? When they try to find us.
Yeah, we ended up finding them, I think.
Yeah, let's
Or we
rewatch
ran
that
into
part.
them.
Right. Yeah. I think. Yeah, we saw you first, and then we in the square, and then we ran into you guys. But then that was after you had the encounter with Doppelganger me.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yo, I was so mad when we were all in the orphanage and I checked under the table and I saw something gold. Went over to Astrid and he rolled so low
I
Glad I
mean, like,
and
did. I was
yeah,
like,
nothing happened with that.
"Hey
I
man,
mean,
what you
you
looking
could have
at?
done
Sips,
something with it. Yeah.
dips, drug tea."
Yeah. Yeah.
LOL.
That
Yeah. The
was
moment.
funny.
Yeah. The moment that in that and now we're talking about a completely different episode, but uh, the
I
moment.
think it was the next episode, yeah.
Mm, the moment like he said like, "Oh, you noticed something gold underneath the table," I thought, "Oh fuck! Oh my god!" One underneath the table. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a double red herring. Like with
please,
the
not this
Oh,
sweet old lady.
it
yeah.
was the sweet old lady.
It was the sweet
It
old lady.
was.
Shout out,
Oh.
shout out. And at the
Mhm.
drop of a hat, she could summon 50 gold mask assassins.
See, my idea was to take
Yeah.
the. I was gonna use my mage hand, and I wanted to slap it out of her hand or whatever.
Yeah, I
Oh.
tried to shoot it. I tried to shoot it out of her hand, and then Calicat stopped me.
Yeah, I feel like that. There's a lot. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad I didn't. I guess, but I thought it could have been funny.
It
Like,
could have
I
been
thought it could have
funny.
been.
What's that? You just see her
Yeah, I
jump
feel like-
and lunge towards the mask, puts it on. I don't know.
I feel like if any of us would have actually hurt Nadine, we would have had to fight Cameron.
He would have
Like
been
all of
pretty
us versus
upset.
Cameron, like no
He would have
lie.
been. He absolutely would have been pretty
No,
upset.
but
Then the
Domino
reveal
did
of the
it, though.
mask. Oh, then he would have
Domino.
actually.
Domino
he
would have
actually would
killed.
have killed
Would have killed.
you. He would have killed you in
Yeah.
that moment.
Also, 50 gold mask assassins would show up. So, you know.
And they
They're
probably
all,
would
they're,
be
they're
the
all
orphan
the
children.
orphanage children.
Yeah, the pipeline, the orphan to assassin
And we've-
pipeline is strong.
we've-
Oh, they're already.
We've-
He's already
and we've talked about
brainwashed,
this.
kind of, Calicat.
No, but think about it. That's how you get loyal subjects,
We've
my
talked
man.
about this though.
Subjugate the children.
We could beat up
We could beat up 50
Lowest
fifth
Common
graders.
Oh,
Demon,
yeah,
Silent
that's
Hill
true.
2
On the Silent Hill 2 episode
Episode-
7
Yeah,
or
these
6.
people have no idea what we're talking about. These
it's
people
come
have no idea what we're talking about.
full circle.
Full circle.
Full
No,
circle.
I'm lost too. Don't worry, guys.
we do.
Yeah,
Well,
don't worry.
the big takeaway is that 50 fifth graders equal the bite force of one wolf.
Yeah, don't worry. We did the math.
Which might be the stupidest
We
thing
did the math.
any of us have said.
Which
Well,
was
that's another
Grayson's
way- that's-
That makes me look at
Yeah.
a wolf different.
Yeah,
Dude,
wolves
do you
are
think?
strong.
Hey, Matthew, real quick,
This is an initiation
yeah.
question.
guys, hold on, Matthew.
Yeah.
Do you think you could beat a wolf in a wolf?
In a 1v1, no weapons, no armor.
Hell no.
Hell
I'm
no.
dead. I died. Yeah, I died.
That's the
I'm dead.
correct answer.
The correct answer.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. He's no replacement.
Okay, you're back. You're back on board.
Yeah.
We like you again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
boy.
And with those hypotheticals, Grayson, I
Hmm.
believe it is about
Yeah.
time.
Right time.
So walk us out.
Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, especially thank you. Please go watch the episode in question all the episodes in question. We talked about multiple here.
On the Mr. Rose channel.
Absolutely. Mr. Rose on
different
YouTube. Go see
Channel.
the Mr. Sylvester
YouTube.
Rose channel on Twitch, where you can see the VODs as well as watch the shows live.
And we have a special announcement as well.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
We
no,
do. We do.
we don't. No,
Uh-huh.
we don't.
I don't know when this episode will come out, but there's been talk that we might have a secret episode coming out on Sundays now.
Ooh, yeah,
Whoa.
Potentially, that might
Oh.
be a thing.
potentially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't get too
Okay.
excited just yet.
Also subscribe to Lowest Common
Please.
Demon.
Subscribe to LCD, Lowest Common Demon. I've put it up now.
Also, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel that you're watching on right now,
This channel, like, comment, and
What?
subslibble.
as well as go follow the Twitch channel,
Mhm.
Mr. Rose.
Yeah.
And
Tell us who
see
your
the
favorite
Twitch
character is.
And
Yeah,
we'll beat
to-
you up
to-
if it's not our favorite character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank
Mm.
you
It's not
all
Astrid.
for. I'd like to thank you all for joining
I'll
me
summon all my
in this
arms.
episode. Thank you, James, playing Aria Sophia, the new character.
Hello. You're welcome, Grayson.
Thank you for joining me, Matthew, playing Domino Laverna.
I am Domino Levin.
Indeed he is. And thank you, Justin, at playing Astrid Soulflare.
That's right, baby. I
Yeah.
punch.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
And most importantly, thank me.
Thank you, Grayson. You are
Thank
appreciated.
me.
For my thievery skills and my knife that can cut
Gracias,
anything.
señor.
Thank me.
Yeah.
I'm superior.
All right. That's it.
Indeed.
Fear me.
Goodbye.
Forever.
Forever.